Alright y'all, so let's go ahead and get right into the video. I thought this would be the perfect time to show you guys what I be doing because I broke 2 nails. So here's the gel, the top coat, the base coat, the slip solution, and the little UV light cure thing, the dual form, the brush, and the file and buffer, what you call it. This did not come with the kit, neither did these or this, but I had this and I love it so much. I got it off Amazon super cheap. So I use 100% acetone to clean my nail beds just to make sure there's no moisture, no oil or anything like that. And then I'm gonna go in and figure out which dual forms I wanna use. I do like to use ones that are a little bit bigger on my nail because I learned that if you have to press down to make it fit onto your nail, you're not gonna have enough product to make a full nail. And I'll show you the difference a little bit later on. So this one's a little bit bigger, but I think I'm just gonna go just a smidgen bigger, which is the one you see on the left here. And I know that looks crazy, but just trust me, okay? You want more product rather than not having enough. You see how that one doesn't even fit on the side? So yeah, and then the same thing for my thumb. You just wanna make sure you're not pushing down to make it fit. So I use the buffer file first. I don't know if that's what it's called. I love this little brush. I got it from a nail art kit. It's just so easy to get all the extra dust off. This was something that I didn't do the first time that I did my polygel nails, and I definitely should have been. So the back of the brush is a little cuticle pusher backer tool to push back your cuticles. And this is really important because there's a very thick section at the base of your nail to where the polygel will not stick and it'll lift so fast. So once I started doing that, my nails last so long. Like they were soaking off earlier and they would just not come off, which is a good thing but also a bad thing, but really good if you want long-lasting nails. And then I'm not a professional, so I am very, very gentle with this step. It is totally optional, but I have it on a slower setting, my drill on a slower setting, and I'm just gingerly getting rid of that thick, pretty much a protection layer that your nails create so that the polygel will stick and stay on my nails a lot longer. And it has made such a big difference. My nail beds look so much cleaner as far as like the application in the base of the nail, and I just, So I always clean the dust off between each step because I was getting dust in my nails before, girl. It was a mess. So now it's time to start step 1 of putting on the polygel after your prep is putting on a thin layer of base coat. Please do not mind the teeth marks. Y'all know, if you know, you know, okay? So make sure it's a very thin layer and make sure it's even. And just take your time because this stuff, when you cure it, it will be shiny wherever you put it. So just make sure you're taking your time and just chill, relax, don't rush it. If you want them to look really nice, you really should take your time. And I do 1 nail at a time. So it took me about 2.5, 3 hours to do this set the first time. But I know that I'll get better. So you take your slip solution, you take the gel. Girl, tell me why I used the wrong gel. And this is the point where I looked at it. I checked it and I was like, nah, it seems okay. Totally the wrong color, and you'll see in a second. But anyway, I don't know how much to put on. This is what I've usually been putting on as far as the amount of polygel. It's just totally up to you and what you feel comfortable with. But for me, I like my nails a lot thicker so they last longer and they don't break as easy. There's no real technique of what I'm doing here. I'm just making sure that the polygel hits all the corners of the dual form. One thing I will say though is the base of the dual form is very, very thin very, very thin amount of polygel at the very base of it, and I will show you why in just a few seconds. But I'm just making sure that the polygel is pretty much even everywhere else and it thins out towards the base of the dual form. And then I'm making sure there's no polygel seeping out of the sides. And then when I get to the top of where there's lines on it, so you can pretty much guide yourself on how long you want them. When I get to the top, I try to flatten it out and make it as even as possible. This is just gonna help me not do as much work when it comes to the filing and shaping of the nail. I would definitely recommend taking your time and not using too much slip solution, because that will ruin the composition of the polygel. So the reason why it's so thin at the base is because I don't put it all the way to my cuticle, because I end up filing down that area and then putting a second layer of polygel. I found that this method works for me so much better than trying to put the dual form all the way at the base of my nail. And they last longer and they look so much neater in my opinion. So then you cure it for 60 seconds, and I can't remember if I said this in the first 2 recordings that I had to do this, but the little UV machine thing shuts off by itself after 60 seconds, which is great. And I don't think you have to flip your nail over, but I do, just to make sure everything is getting cured properly. I'm probably just being a little bit extra, but I don't be playing about my nails, okay? I will sit here and take forever to do them because I want them to look nice and I pay attention to detail, okay? So then taking off this dual form is super, super easy. You just leave a space at the top. You push down at that little area and pull up at the same time, and it comes off very easy. There's no sticking, there's no nothing. The polygel is super hard, so you don't have to worry about it cracking or anything like that. And you see the little lip right there towards the right? That's because I pushed that little piece right there, is because I pushed down a little bit too hard. So you can go in with the file that they gave you, which is a top-notch file, okay? Like, I don't need my nail drill, but I use it anyway because I'm just that extra. But that nail file is like 10 out of 10. I don't know where they got it from, whatever, but like, love it. So I could have stopped right there. Like, that wasn't even a lot of filing. But I am gonna go with my nail drill because I just wanna make sure that there's no extra lumps, humps, none of that, okay? Then you dust it all off, and I go in with a smidgen of polygel again, and I grab some slip, not too much, and I go in and shape the base of my nail. And this just, I feel like for me, is just allowing me to have a little bit more control of what the base of my nail looks like. And this set lasted way longer than the second time I did it when I didn't do this. So this is just gonna be my method because, yeah. And then you wanna make sure you pull the product down to keep the nail as smooth as possible, only because you don't wanna do hella work trying to smooth it out when you get to the filing and stuff like that. So I use a little bit more slip just to smooth out the edges of my nail and make it look as natural as possible. And it's okay if it's not perfect, because I go in and use the nail drill to make it all even and make it look really, really natural. And you see how the nail is coming down on the sides? That is why I use the larger dual form, because I'm gonna drill and do all that filing and stuff. And I learned the hard way that if you don't have enough product or you have a small dual form, your nail is gonna look real skinny, real fast. Like, it's gonna look a mess. So this is what we have so far. It's okay if it's not totally perfect, because like I said, we're gonna drill and file and make it look cute. So you push the slip solution away, anything having to do with gel, before you use the UV light, because you don't want anything else to be cured. One time I left the, I think it was like the top coat undone, and it was close to the UV light, and it got hard on the outside, and I was like, ooh. So here I was very proud of myself because there wasn't extra product buildup. You see right there, and I think I'm going to show you another finger where if you push down too hard, you'll get like this little hump of product. You see what I mean? Like right at the seam. So you don't want to do that. That's why I said don't press down too hard, because it'll be like a little clump there, which you can fix with a nail drill depending on how wide your nail is. But like, who has time for all that? I definitely don't. Well, clearly I do, because I spent almost 3 hours on my nails, but I don't want to sit there and have to drill under my nail. That's annoying. And I only have one size of nail drill, so like, or drill bit, whatever it's called. So I don't have the time for all of that. Like, I just want to make my nail look cute on the top and call it a day. So I'm just filing and shaping and trying to figure out the length of the nail. And this, I had to use the giant nail clipper because, like I said, I do like my nails thick. Ever since I made them a lot thicker, they've lasted so much longer and they look so nice. So I'm just clipping it down and shaping it again. just being a perfectionist, like, girl. But that is how it came out before the top coat. I think it looks so natural, so neat. Like, I love it. It's not perfect, but it's damn near close. Like, come on. And like I said, I do like the square shape. Or wait, I think that was in the other recording. But I do like the square shape because after a while, y'all know, if you get your nails done, the edges be starting to fade away. They starting to look, okay, top coat, then layer, and then cure. Anyway. So the edges start to look a little rounded. You know what I'm saying? After the wear and tear, especially with how much I work. Like, so I like to start off with a bold square. And then once they start getting worn down on the sides and stuff like that, I will go reshape them into a coffin set. And that has really been working out for me, just to get the extended wear, because there'll be nothing wrong with the nail. It's just the shape be off after a while. And then make sure you get the top part of your nail, girl, because I was forgetting that the first 2 times I did my nails, the little top section with the top coat. So it'll be all shiny, and then the very tip of the nail be all dry looking. So anyway. But yeah, that's how I get an extended wear out of my nails. I just do a square at first, and then once they get all frayed and laid and dyed to size, you see what I mean? I will reshape them how I want them. So I thought that one came out so good. It's just the wrong color, sis. Like, girl, let me tell you something. I've been walking around 2 weeks with one pink ass nail. Like, and what about it? And what are you gonna say to me? Like, what? I've been handing out drinks for 2 weeks. Like, come on now. So yeah, once you put the top coat, the one thing I love about Polygel, there's no wait time. Like, once you put the top coat on there and cure it, it's donezo. You don't have to worry about drying, none of that. Like, the Polygel is for the girls. Like, do you see how skinny that is? And you see how it's wider at the base of my nail? I love how I stopped this so you can really see. I love the right side way better than the left. Like, ugh, we did such a better job. So I'm gonna show you my thumb. I did a little bit better about being in the shot. So base coat, a very thin coat. Make sure it's all the way coated so the Polygel sticks to the whole nail. You cure it for 60 seconds. Girl, pay attention, girl. The right shade of nude this time. And a little bit thinner on the edges, or on the base of the dual form. I always like to make sure the brush is like completely covered in slip solution, and then I scrape it off because of how I drag the brush. You see, I'm pretty much using all of the brush to drag it. And this part doesn't have to be super perfect. You just need to make sure you're getting all the way to the edge, because then you won't have like frayed edges or weak edges on the side. And then just clean it up, make sure it's even. And if the Polygel starts dragging like that, you can just clean your brush, dip it in the solution, and then scrape the sides, and you'll be good to go. But I think I was just so focused on being in the shot, I really wasn't paying too much attention. And if this part isn't super smooth, like I said, you can go in with the drill bit, but I really don't be caring at the bottom of the nail if it's not like super horrible looking. Like, I don't be caring, because who gonna be up under there? Like, nobody. So then I just make sure it's straightened on my nail. I don't press too hard, and make sure I put it to the length that I want it. All right, looking a little crooked. All right, so I'm about to say, please straighten it. And then you cure it for 60 seconds. Girl, who are you texting? Like, anyway, pull it off, check your work, looks good. I did push down a little bit too hard again, but I'll get used to it. And like I say, you just file that down. I'm telling you, this nail file is the bomb. Like, I've used it 3 times at this point, and it's still as sharp as the first time I used it. Like, I love it. Probably gonna order more. I did order more of this natural nude natural, whatever it is, neutral nude, whatever color it is. I ordered a bigger tube of it because I just loved it so much. Like, and at that point, I like to stop it and show you that I could have just put the polygel on, but y'all know me, I gotta go in and make it a little bit thinner and clean it up, and yeah, it's good to go for the polygel. Alright, so I just sped this part up because I already showed y'all me doing this, and I am so sorry about the angle. Like I said, then I realized what I was doing. But here's where I realized I did a little bit too much, because instead of just doing long strokes of the brush, I was doing short strokes, and that's what made the nail look all uneven and bumpy, which in turn made me do more work when it came to the filing and making stuff even. So I definitely should have focused on longer strokes and less pressure, and that would have helped me, that would have saved me a lot of time. Like, what? Girl, just pull that brush, like, come on, girl. But actually watching myself do this, I know what I'm doing wrong. So this video helped me, and I really hope it helped the girls that want to do polygel, don't be knowing what they doing. And like I said, this is not a tutorial, sis. This is just what I be doing. So don't be sitting here saying, you doing this, you doing that. I love the feedback and constructive criticism, but I'm letting you know this is not a tutorial and I am not a professional, okay? So don't come for me. Let's keep it cute if you do choose to comment. Thank you kindly. I should have been doing that from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? Just pulling it out. Just pulling it out. And I think I realized at this point that maybe it was a little bit too thin at the base. So I think, yeah, I went ahead and added more polygel instead of curing it first. And I'm wondering if maybe I should have cured it first and then added more polygel onto it, just so it wouldn't be so sticky. But one thing I love about polygel is that it doesn't harden until you use the UV light. So you're really able to manipulate it and really make it work for you how you need it to, as much as you need it to, which I really, really like for someone like me, especially when you're using your less dominant hand to do the other hand. Yeah, I'll be there for days. But you know, for a beginner, I think this little set came out cute. Oh, you know what I'm saying? And that baby wipe saves lives. Like, I was using a paper towel at first. Just use a baby wipe, sis. Like, because it's so damp, it gets the product off so much easier. Love that. And just remember, if you are using a lot of slip solution when you're doing what I'm doing, like during this step, just know you're probably gonna have to cure the polygel twice, because I definitely had to. And I was checking it before I filed, and I was like, oh no, it's still kind of soft, and you do not want to drill soft polygel. It will just get all over your drill. Like, can y'all see all that product? So it was time for me to switch the drill head anyway. And just clip it and make sure that it's the same length, decent length. Clean all of that up. And I was highly impressed with myself again, because there was no product buildup underneath my nail. Like, that was the issue I was having before. I was very proud of myself. Like, I'm learning, okay? And clean up your space before you do top coat, always. And the top coat, I just love this nude. Like, it goes so well with my skin complexion. Like, I love it. I love it. And I think the big tube was like $7.99 if I'm not mistaken. I will link everything below, and it will be an affiliate link, boo, just saying. So if you don't want an affiliate link, just type in this brand and get yourself a little kit, okay? So this is how they came out. You can't really tell too bad with the index finger, but you could definitely tell. Like, anyway, it came out really nice. Like, I was very proud of myself. Oh, they're so cute. Yes, girl, you better show off. Show them off, sis. Thank y'all so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in my next video.